Hey, it's Lauren with Beadbox Bargains. I am super excited today to show you some of our Christmas in July items. Our Christmas in July sale starts tonight at 5 p.m. Central Daylight Time. We have a countdown timer on the homepage banner if you're not sure how that correlates with your time zone. And when that timer reaches 0, you'll see the Christmas in July category appear on the website, and that is when all of these deals will show up. So first of all, we're going to have some discounted Christmas items, the last of our stock from last year. We've got these cute little wire trees, some beaded Christmas trees, some cute holiday items like these little penguin enamel charms, stuff like that. We're also going to have a bunch of new items, and these are... I'm very excited about these. These are everything from gemstone beads to some freshwater pearls. These are things I have been hoarding for a few months now. They're part of my pre-tariff stash. I was able to get these great lots of mixed gemstones in from one of my favorite lapidaries to work with. And we've got some freshwater pearls, all kinds of stuff. We have some 6mm faceted round gemstones. And we don't have a ton of all of these, but they're really nice. We have labradorite here. We have some purple lepidolite. Love that. Ooh, and look at the serpentine. So pretty. Just some different things. They're all priced well below retail. Very excited about this. Got this ruby zoisite. So this is natural zoisite, and then every now and then you get these purple ruby crystals in it. Not all of the beads are going to have them, but some of them will. So those are fun. We've got some lovely Prennet in the 6mm round. Beautiful. And then I'm excited about this chrysoprase. Look at this. So this is this is a green with matrix strand, and I actually really love it. You've got those bright apple greens, some white, some brown matrix, some really nice contrast in those beads. And then we've got some strands with less contrast. Particularly, this one is gorgeous. It has some darker inclusions, but this is really nice Australian chrysoprase. That beautiful green color really comes through. These are normally quite expensive. And then we've got some softer sea greens. Really I think we separated into 5 different bags because there were so many different shades of chrysoprase. They're all beautiful. We're going to have lots of other strands too, like this flower amazonite. Isn't that pretty? Love that. You can see that up there. I'm going to have to empty this soon. Here's some dumortierite. Isn't that pretty? The dark blue almost looks like sodalite, but it's less marbled and more, it's just a different texture. And then we've got some sunstone. Super pretty. Love that. The fastening on all these is just so nice. Ooh, some quartz here. Golden rutilated quartz. Got those little rutile patterns in there. Super fun. And some tourmaline. So pretty. Just lots of pretty things. All right, I'm going to pick these up, and we'll look at the 4mm rounds. All right, we've also got a lot of gorgeous 4mm faceted rounds. So these are flower amethyst, also known as dogtooth amethyst, but the dogtooth or chevron name is used more often when you have white patterns in the beads themselves. And this is more of a mixture of black amethyst, the white quartz and amethyst, just lots of fun earthy colors there, along with some of your traditional purples. That's a cute strand. So in that case, it's usually referred to as flower amethyst. So there we go. And we have some more traditional amethyst. We've got a few gray tones in there, some smoky quartz colors mixed in. We've got dumortierite in the 4mm also. And then sodalite. And some of these are more on the 4.5mm side of things. And some of them are more of on the 3.5 to 4mm. So we've marked on the listings when that's the case. Another thing I do want to point out occasionally you might find, like in this one, you've got 2 blue goldstone beads mixed in. You might find the odd bead out on some of these strands. A lot of times that's why you got clearance. They just had a couple of a different type of bead that was mixed in with the beads they were stranding. Or stringing, I suppose. Stranding is something else. And don't want to leave the bead stranded. It's just why they were on clearance, some of them. So they are priced really, really well. I'm very excited. So here's some more sodalite. We separated these batches out because you've got the darker blue and orange batch, and then you've got more of a white, blue, and orange batch. It's really fun. And then we have some dark eyelite, which is so pretty. Deep dark blue. Love that. And then we have a couple other shades of eyelite. Here's a very pale eyelite. Has a lot of white and browns mixed in. And then here's a batch that was somewhere in the middle. So some different shades to pick from. Lots of pretty stuff. We have so many gorgeous 4mm beads. Here's some labradorite. Very nice. Here's some black tourmaline. Here's some tourmaline and quartz mixed together. So this is tourmalinated quartz, along with, there's a little bit of rutilated quartz on that strand too, but it's just a mixture of quartz and tourmaline. This one, you may still have a little bit of quartz mixed in, but it's more on the tourmaline side. So we've separated those out that way. We've got rutilated quartz, where you have all these black rutile patterns there. Super pretty. Have the angelite, which is a lovely, like, matte blue with some brown in there too. And then we have a couple different shades of apatite. Got this neon blue and white mix, and then the more subdued, darker teal, which I love too. Very pretty, both natural. We also have some African turquoise jasper. So this is a dyed jasper. It's very nice greens. You've got a lot of heavy black and brown matrix mixed in too, which really gives it that turquoise look. And then we have some natural chrysocolla. So this is a combination of bright blues and dark blues and greens and blacks and whites. Some really pretty beads. Love those. And then we have some more chrysoprase. This one's a more translucent strand. And then we have this very interesting sea green and brown mix of chrysoprase. So this is really lovely, different sorts of colors. And I have seen this advertised as Burma jade before too, like this exact type of strand. But looking at it and looking at the, if you look at the patterns of the inclusions and things, you can see they're the same between the two stones. And it really doesn't look like jadeite to me. It looks like the chalcedony-based chrysoprase. So that's what I believe it is. It's my best identification. It's absolutely gorgeous. They both are. This is your more traditional green and brown mix. Then you've got this lovely lighter blend. We have some aventurine in 2 different colors here. Very nice. Lighter and then darker. Super cute. We have some malachite. This is a really nice strand with occasional chrysocolla mixed in there, if I can untie it. So it's mostly malachite, but every now and then you get these light blue. Here's another one. Chrysocolla bits mixed in. Malachite and chrysocolla can occur together in the same veins, and that's what's happened here. It's really pretty. I love it. We don't have a ton of those, but we will have some. And here's some more serpentine, also known as olive jade, though technically serpentine, not jade, to be clear. We have some Arusha sunstone, which I love. It's like a light green color of sunstone. You've got some peach and some white tones in there too. It's very refreshing. I love that for like a summer piece. We have some white moonstone. This is more on the 4.5 millimeter side of things. Love that. Very classic. You've got some areas of that nice white schiller. That's that almost metallic shine that moonstone has. Then we've got some citrine and some golden rutilated quartz. Both very pretty. We've got some yellow opal, which I haven't seen in a minute. Super exciting to get this good of a deal on it. Some really pretty natural variation in that strand. And we've got some 4mm, I think this is citrine, smooth round beads. Ooh, here is some lovely hematoid quartz. Look at this, with those red patterns in there. Love that. I think that's hematoid quartz. I will be looking that one up a little more closely. But this is going to be rutilated quartz, and you've got some more like almost reddish patterns in this one. It's a very different look from this strand, though they're both technically the same gemstone, just different colored patterns in the quartz. Then we have some peach moonstone and some multicolor moonstone that has more of the grays in it. Both super sparkly and lovely. And some sunstone, which is going to have that metallic red, those little tiny flecks of interest. And so this particular batch has a lot of like clear and black to it also. We've got some nice peach aventurine, and finally some hessonite garnet in two different color batches. There was some that were lighter and some that were darker, so we separated those out. They're both natural hessonite garnet. So, and that's it for our 4mm strands. I'm going to pick these up, and then we'll take a look at some cubes. Okay, we also have some wonderful faceted cubes. This is about a 4.5mm cube A turquoise. Very fun. Got some heavy matrix, lots of greens and browns, but also some really pretty blues in there occasionally. All right. We also have apatite. Beautiful. This is the 4.5mm as well. And all of these, y'all, they're marked down so much below retail. We got such a crazy deal, and I am so excited. So here is some fluorite mixed with white opal. This is a naturally occurring blend of the two stones. You can see some of those mossy dendritic opal inclusions, along with the whites and browns, and then the purples of such from the fluorite. Here, I'll put it down so you can see that. So it's an interesting strand for sure. Then we have some more golden rutilated quartz. Very cute little 2.5mm, teeny tiny, beautifully faceted cubes. These are so cute and so small. We don't always get these tiny beads in, so it's a fun change of pace. And here is some sodalite. Again, you've got some heavy white, black, orange in this batch, which is a fun color combination. It's technically a lower grade than the full blue. They're really fun. And again, the cube is one of the most expensive shapes to cut. Here we have some tree agate. So getting it at these prices, it makes me so happy. Gorgeous tree agate, those dendritic green patterns and the white. It always reminds me of evergreens in snow. Here's some lapis. This is not the highest grade lapis, so you're going to see a lot of grays in here and whites, but you have some beautiful blues too. This is natural and not dyed, and again, really gorgeous 4.5mm cube there. Here's some tourmaline and quartz at about a 3mm. Really nice black, white, brown colors in there. Super cute. And again, there's those stray amethyst. You may find the odd mismatched stone just because these are closeout beads. Alright, and this is a mixed gemstone strand. We're seeing lots of amazonite on here and rose quartz. There's some other like green and agate and picture jasper, and this looks like maybe peridot. Anyway, pretty stuff. Each strand will be slightly different with these mixed ones. We've got some rhodonite. These are really lovely. I don't think we have a lot of these, but pink and black marbled. Very nice. Here is some more lepidolite, purple lepidolite. Lovely lavender to white tones to kind of a deeper purple as well. It's a little softer in polish than not like, I don't know about the Mohs scale, but as far as the, it looks almost more satin than amethyst does. Doesn't take a polish quite the same way. And here's some amethyst, speaking of which. Little tiny, like 2.5 millimeter cubes. These are so cute. Love those. And then this is interesting. So this is like a mixed quartz strand. It's really fun. Maybe more of that rutilated quartz in there. Very neat. Ooh, here's some pretty turquoise. So this is going to be more Hubei turquoise. This is the 2.5 millimeter to 3 millimeter size. And again, you can see you've got a random amethyst on that strand, but it is mostly all turquoise. Very pretty. And we've got some hessonite garnet. Beautiful. Love those cubes. They're so sparkly. So great. Some tiger iron. So this is tiger eye mixed with natural inclusions of like hematite and sometimes jasper. But you get more of a metallic look and less of the chatoyant banding, though there is still some. It's a little bit darker. It's a very nice unisex material. And just a really pretty dark brown. I love it. Good for fall coming up. Ooh, look at this peach moonstone. Teeny, teeny, tiny little 2 millimeter peach moonstone. Isn't that cute? Love those. Little bitty, delicate cubes. We have some larger cubes as well. Here's a 3 millimeter. Super nice. Look at that. This is more of a it's peach moonstone, but you've got a little bit of the white and gray in there too. And then there's the 4.5 millimeter, which are larger still and very pretty. Look at that. So sparkly. Love those. All right, we have perennial cubes. The 4.5 millimeter. I love those grass-like patterns and that really pretty green. And you can see this one has a couple pink opal mixed in. And these are going to, like, just randomly, and a blue chalcedony and a rutilated quartz. So every now and then you get odds. Yeah, that actually is printed. It's just a lighter print. You get odds and ends mixed in, like that opal there at the end. But they are absolutely incredible prices. All right, so this is going to be more of that malachite with chrysocolla. So you get some greens, and then you also have a lot of other chrysocolla colors mixed in. And there's a couple amethysts on this strand because, once again, a few things got mixed. All right, so this is Hubei turquoise in the 2 millimeter. Super cute, little itty bitty, maybe 2.5 millimeter. Very pretty. And then we have a few strands of the larger malachite with chrysocolla cubes. Those are really nice. Lots of nice malachite. And then you get the brown matrix, and occasionally you'll get a little bit of the blue chrysocolla. Love those. All right, so that's it for our cubes. After that, we have some findings. So we have two different finding kits here. We have this one, which is antique bronze, that comes in this nice plastic case. You've got wire guardians, you've got lobster claws, jump rings, crimp beads, and clamshell bead tips, and then crimp bead covers. We sold a copper one very similar to this with last month's, or to coordinate with last month's beads. We also have a copper finding kit. This one is bagged, not in a thing. In a bin, but you do get some of these are my hand-picked favorite findings. So you get eye pins, head pins, ear wires. They are nickel-free. You get jump rings in a bunch of different brass sizes. They are 4 to 10 millimeters, so you get a little of everything. You get some crimp beads and some clamshell bead tips, and they are all in that antique copper finish. All right. So we'll have those for you. And we also have some bamboo coral. These are called cupellini. These are like branch-shaped chips. And I don't, when I buy coral, I generally buy it as closeouts that are already made that someone else didn't want, because I feel, I don't feel bad about that, because they've already been made and they're just gonna do something, like get rid of them. So, these are closeouts. They are really pretty, very, very beachy, which makes me very happy. We've got the bleached white coral. We've got the dyed pink. And then we also have the like tropical golden yellow, which are really nice. And the traditional red. Both of these have been dyed. So, 4 different colors of coral cupellini. This is about a 16-inch strand. And next, I'm excited about this. We got a wonderful shipment of closeout freshwater pearls. Now, freshwater pearls have been getting very expensive lately. We haven't really had many in, so I was super excited about this. Now, the shapes and sizes will vary. We've separated them by basically category. The first category is going to be your irregular potato pearls, and these will have some banding. The sizes will vary. I grabbed a couple. But there's really good variation pictures on the listings. Take a look. You can see every strand is unique. But these are going to have some irregular shapes. They're going to have some banding. They may have some areas of low luster. But they're also like $2 for freshwater pearls, which is crazy, y'all. I'm so excited. So we'll have those. I can't remember the last time I got natural freshwater pearls for $2, so very excited about that. Then we have these slightly less irregular potato pearls. So these vary in size. You might have some smaller ones, and you still might have some banding, some flat areas or low luster areas, but they're going to be on the whole more regularly shaped than the last ones we looked at, just as a comparison. Here they are next to each other. So you've got less of the banding in these. So they are going to be a little bit more expensive, but they're still such a good deal. All these lovely white pearls. Next we have some semi-round beads. And these will, these are the smaller potato pearls. Next. Yes. So next we have more of this semi-irregular potato pearls, but these are slightly, they tend to be smaller than, you're not going to have as many of like this size. They're going to be more of like the 8mm-ish than the 10mm-ish. And like you might get some of the 8 to 9mm in that other mix we just looked at. It's just each mix is different, and we've done our best to describe them for you. So more beautiful freshwater pearls. Next is the semi-round. So these, again, you may have some slight banding, some irregularity to the shapes, but they are really pretty overall. Yeah, like you can see this strand is a little more irregular with the shapes, and this strand has some slight bands on it, but still very pretty. So the semi-irregular rounds. Next we have more potato pearls. These ones are more specific in size. They're going to be a lot more similar to each other, this batch. And again, you're going to have a lot of banding. And again, the price is completely insane for cultured freshwater pearls. So very excited for that. These are going to be your larger, highly irregular potato pearls. So some different shapes and sizes there. These are a bigger size than the ones we just looked at. Here they are next to each other, so you can kind of tell. Very nice. I really like the color. It's pretty even. Again, the shapes are not all going to be perfect, so they're great if you want more of that organic feel to them. And then next up, we've got our irregular rice pearls. So these are going to be longer. And again, you can see you've got a lot of variation. You've got some banding. They really do have a fun tropical feel to them. And again, the prices are so low. It's exciting. Next up, we have the less irregular, the semi-irregular rice. So these might still have some banding, but as a whole, they're a lot more evenly shaped. So those are cute. And then we have a larger version here of that semi-irregular. Again, some banding, but really nice shape overall. Okay, here are the more highly irregular. So these are sort of a more like almost a button shape. They're like a button and a rice put together. You can see they're all going to have lots of the banded shapes. You're going to have some irregular shapes. Honestly, it's a pretty fun shape. It reminds me almost a little bit like that one looks like those check glass beads, like the little UFO beads with the disc in the middle. I don't know. They're just, again, we've tried to separate them out by general shape so you can decide which ones you like. I think these are fun. And then we have, these are even more of a button shape, an irregular button. You don't have as many of the long, again, you can grab those for comparison. These are a little longer, and these are the more shorter button-like pearls. All right. And then finally, we have the semi-round that are more highly irregular. Lots more of the variation in exact shape there, as you can see. So lots of freshwater pearls, lots of different shapes to choose from. And they're all going to be in the like sub $2 to of like $3 range. So very excited for that. Okay, next up we have these cute little enamel charms. Get these little strawberry ice cream parfaits. They're so cute. The enamel work is so well done. Little strawberries, a little wafer sticking out, a little parfait cup. Just thought they were adorable. And then we also have these little milkshakes. 4 pieces per bag. They're going to be 75 cents a pack. So just some really good deals coming up. All right, next I want to show you these little chain kits. Mostly because the chain is adorable. It's a teeny tiny little heart links. Like tiny hearts. I don't even know if you can tell that they're hearts. But it's subtle, but if you look at it, it's this adorable little heart. And they come with some lobster claws and jump rings to finish your chain pieces off. You get 3 meters, that's over 9 feet, 9.5 feet of chain. And we have it in gold and in silver. You can see, and this is a shrink wrapped spool. There's that same little heart chain, 3 meters in silver. All right. So we have those nice little kits. And we have some more cubes. They tend to be on the smaller side. Not all of them, though. These amethysts are in that 4.5 millimeter size. And then we've also got, they're so cute. We've also got some more of the mineralized fluorite here. This time in a little cube. These are actually, I think, a tiny bit bigger than the other ones. Here's some more amethyst in that. This is about a 3.5 millimeter size. And then we've got some flower amethyst. Again, this is going to be amethyst that's mixed with quartz and sometimes other minerals. You get those white and brown markings. Super pretty. And some teeny tiny little labradorite cubes. Because they're so small, it's hard to see much flash on them just because they are tiny. But they're beautifully cut. Very, very shiny. Here, I'll put those on the white so you can see the pale gray color. We have some, this looks again like a lower grade lapis. You've got lots of gray and white, but also a little bit of blue. You can tell it's natural and not dyed. If you ever wondered what the lapis that's typically dyed looks like when it's not dyed, it looks like this. But this one's been kept natural, which I like too. And then here's the eye light in that teeny tiny little 2.5 millimeter cube. Tell you what, this is a harder size to find typically, all these tiny cubes. So, and we have some teeny 2 millimeter rounds coming up also. If you've ever worked with seed beads, or if you work with like seed bead size stuff and you've been looking for some gemstones to use, we got you covered. We got some lovely quartz here. It is on a yellow string, so I think it's got a slight golden cast to it, but it is fairly icy white without the strings. It bothers me when they do that with the colored strings. I wish they wouldn't, but closeout buyers can't be choosers. They've already been strung by the time these lots get to me. Sometimes if I'm doing the manufacturing, I can make those requests, but not to get these deep closeout prices. All right, here's some more tiger iron. You can see it's got those beautiful metallic blacks in with the browns. Very nice. This is a larger strand, about a 3 millimeter. Then we have 2 tiny jasper cubes. We've got red rainbow jasper here, and this is more on like the 2 to 2.5 millimeter. I think this is 2.5 millimeter cube. And then we've got a more like 3 millimeter cube of brecciated jasper, so it's going to be a little bit darker if you look at that together. So that's the difference between those two. They look kind of similar when you've got the picture separate, but together you can tell the brecciated jasper is darker. It has more grays and browns in it. And the red rainbow jasper has more like orange and white tones. Then we've got some itty bitty little garnet cubes. Love that. Some nice wine reds. Very sparkly. Again, the faceting on all these cubes is just stunning. Love it. Love being able to offer faceted gemstones at these prices. It's going to be crazy. Products do tend to go fast. I recommend before the sale starts, you go ahead and get logged into your account at beadboxbargains.com because our system cannot reserve items until checkout is completed. All right, here's some more golden hematoid quartz. Itty bitty little 2 millimeter rounds. Those are tiny. So cute. Some nice rutilated quartz in a like 4 millimeter round here. And these, again, just a steal. We have 2 different gemstone mixed strands I wanted to show you so you can kind of see the difference because they're both about a 4 millimeter. This is like a 4 to 4.5. This mix has a lot of darker colors in it. You've got a lot of black tourmaline on some of the strands. And then this tends to be more like light quartz. Again, each strand is different. You've got a lot of beautiful gemstone beads, and they are very, very affordable. So it's a fun way to get a bunch of gemstones at a low price. Next, we have some teeny tiny little garnet rounds in 2 different sizes here. This is like the 2 millimeter. Tiny. And then this is the 2.5. Only slightly less tiny. They are beautiful. Look how sparkly. I love these. So delicate and lovely. All right. Ooh. This is the tiniest little, that's chrysoprase or green chalcedony. It might be green chalcedony, but the tiniest little 2 millimeter green beads. These are so cute. Love these. Then we've got some green aventurine in about a 2.5 to 3 millimeter there. We've got some African turquoise jasper. Again, this is a dyed jasper. Really pretty. Oh, look at this. This is chrysocolla. This is so cute. Teeny tiny little chrysocolla. The tiniest chrysocolla I've ever seen. Adorable. Little 2 millimeter rounds. And we've got some eye lights. This is a dark eye light with heavy dark inclusions. Almost black. But you got a little bit of that blue showing through as well. That's fun. And then we've got tourmalinated quartz in about a 2.5 millimeter. And then finally we have these howlite beads. So these are a synthetic stone, and I can tell that just because of the way that the matrix is. It just doesn't sit right. It's not real. It's giving me like gemstone uncanny valley, the way that it goes. It's all the exact same color, which is a good sign that these are imitation. They're also not quite as cold as the other beads. So, let's say those are synthetic, man-made howlite. All right. Speaking of synthetic man-made howlite and other stones like it, we have some really interesting, sort of giant beads to show you next. So let's take a look at those. All right, so we have another fun closeout lot that will be in this sale. So these are strands that have these little like header tabs on them. And there's a whole lot of different stuff, including these are going to be synthetic reconstituted turquoise. So usually it's magnesite based, and basically they grind the remnants to a powder. It's a way to use up the pieces that got cut off of other shapes. They mix it with resin and they make these big, chunky, fun turquoise looking beads. So we'll have them. There's a lot of turquoise and turquoise stuff in this lot. We do have some genuine turquoise. These are stabilized nuggets. So turquoise is generally stabilized, which means coated with a like protective clear coating. And in some cases, color is added to the coating to enhance the turquoise's color, and that's been done here. So we've got some nice genuine turquoise nuggets, and then some less genuine turquoise. So let's talk about the different categories we have. We have the reconstituted turquoise, and we'll have a bunch of different shapes of that. Here's another one. And then we have magnesite, and the magnesite comes in several different forms as well. You have the reconstituted or magnesite, like these, which are pressed into a mold. Again, it's, but this one specifically, it has, what am I trying to say? It has more, it's more intentionally done. Like, again, these you just use up a bunch of different, like, stone fragments and just reconstituted, lots of resin involved. These are magnesite that is powdered and pressed and set in, probably it's still resin, but they're colder, they feel more like stone, and you get all these fun pressed shapes. Like these butterflies here, we've got some flowers. So still a reconstituted product. Let me show you. Pull them out of plastic there. Still a reconstituted product. We also have some magnesite that's just been dyed, has not been reconstituted and formed. And those you can tell because they look a lot less regular. They're also heavy. They don't have any resin involved. They're just straight stone. So there's kind of the comparison of how those different things looked at. But anytime you see like turquoise advertised and it looks like this like brown and like pressed looking, the shapes are all identical, the patterns are very similar, like these kind of things. You see them at craft stores all the time. Yeah, that's definitely going to be reconstituted magnesite. It's not turquoise, so don't believe that. Oh man, there's so many things. Here's some more just dyed magnesite. And again, you're going to see similar patterns, but they're not going to be nearly as regular. You're not going to have that brown on the sides from there. That's a pretty much a dead giveaway that it's been molded, and you don't get that with stuff that has not been. All right, so there's all kinds of big chunky shapes. I'm excited about that. We got some fun things coming through. And to be clear, I enjoy the synthetic imitation turquoise that's made from reconstituted stone as well. I just like it to be marked as such. So it will be in the sale, but it often isn't in craft stores, so keep an eye out for that when you're shopping in person places. Okay, We've also got some other mixed products. Let's see. Ooh, these are interesting. You've got some mixed gemstone flowers. These are so cool. Ooh, look at that. You got some sesame jasper there. You've got some, that looks like a Picasso or picture jasper there. Just different mixed, this one's even mixed on the strand. Mixed flowers. Those are fun. And again, these are marked way down. In craft stores, typically you'll see them around like $4 to $8 a strand. We're going to have them, most of them are going to be around $2 a strand. We'll have some big, just some different types of things. These like fancy diamond beads, again, are randomly assorted. Some fun random pick items there. And I've got another bin to go through too. So we may not get all of these large shapes. We may post some on Monday too, because I'm not sure we're going to get through them all today. We're doing our best. It's been busy around here getting ready for this sale. All right. And we will also have some other markdowns, some other fun things. Like we've got stuff going on for this sale. We're looking forward to it. It all starts at 5 p.m. tonight at beadboxbargains.com. Again, I definitely recommend that you log in before 5 p.m. Make sure that you are ready. And just a reminder, if you haven't shopped at Beadbox Bargains before, that login is separate from your Bargain Beadbox subscription account. So you can create a free customer account if you don't have one already. If you have any problems getting logged in, shoot us an email at support@beadboxbargains.com. We'll be checking in to help people through this sale. Again, items in the sale will be reserved for you as soon as checkout is complete. So as long as you get through that checkout process, those items are yours. If you have an error during checkout, return to your shopping cart and sold out items should be automatically removed for you. This is, it's a crazy sale. It's always a lot of fun. I would ask, we work really hard on it, that there are limited quantities. We hope that everyone will be able to get the products that they want, but we also recognize things will sell out. So we will do our absolute best to make sure you get the beads that you are looking for, but some things will probably sell out and have to be removed from your account, from your cart before you check out. It's just kind of the nature of the beast with this sort of thing. That said, we hope you have a lot of fun with the sale, as we are always very excited. It's our summer Black Friday, basically. So we've been getting ready. We will have everything live at 5 p.m. Central Daylight Time tonight. Again, there is a countdown banner on the homepage if you're not sure how that equates to your local time. Thanks, y'all, so much. Thank you for making this summer so fun. I hope that you enjoyed this sale. I hope that you, just are having a great summer, too. It's crazy. Lynn goes back to school, next week, which is insane. I can't believe summer's almost over, but we're gonna send it out with a bang. Christmas in July. Thanks, y'all, again. Appreciate ya. And as always, happy beading.